This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Where we want to educate you about our market, empower you to make wise decisions, and help you engage with our expert contributors.
At this time of year, it's a good time to just check and make sure that your title, your property, everything's in order. Is that right? Is that we want to talk about? Is that the proper phrasing?
That is the proper phrasing. And I think, one thing I'd like to say before we jump into that is that, with technology these days, there's a lot of times, doesn't have to be the beginning of the year, doesn't have to be, could be daily if you wanted to, if you really wanted to look at it that much. But doing a quick review of your property's title is really what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Some of the things that are affecting it or recorded against the property. It's important to do it on an annual basis. There's been services out there that we've seen on the different news networks that have come out and have been offering these services. But a lot of these services are free through pretty much any title company, especially our company as well. We will run what's called a property profile for you as a consumer. And that property profile is a computer-generated report that'll give you a lot of information. 12, 13 pages long worth of information.
Oh, okay.
Anywhere from, the demographics of the area, the shopping, the past owners of the property, but really the nuts and bolts of it that I tell people to review are their information because they're the owners of the home.
Right.
What has been recorded against this property, if anything? And if I could emphasize one thing, the people who own their homes right now free and clear, they need to be doing this probably 3 to 4 times a year. There's so much fraud out there. There's so much going on where people are trying to do things that are not on the up and up.
Yeah, how are they more vulnerable?
They're more vulnerable because there's nothing recorded on their home. There just is a deed saying that they're the owner. So walking you through a normal real estate transaction, when we go and do the title search, we find mortgages that we have to pay off. There's a deed of trust that's recorded, and it pretty much notifies the world that somebody owes somebody money on this property.
Okay.
And we cannot, there's a clause in the deed of trust that basically talks about if you transfer ownership, it's due on sale or due on transfer, and it has to be paid at that time.
Okay.
Not to get into the technicalities of it. So
right.
When you go through a title company and you close an escrow and we do that, we make sure that mortgage is paid off and that deed of trust is released and then it's on to the new person. Well, if there's no deed of trust recorded against the property and there is nothing to pay off, then there's no notification of anything. Right. There's nothing that is being sent to the current homeowner.
No second set of eyes.
Exactly.
What I was going to say.
Yeah. There's no
the
second
mortgage
set of
company's not
eyes.
there to look and make sure
you're
it.
We're
We're the second set of eyes, right? So
right.
what happens? There's these people who again are not on the up and up. They can write up some documentation and record it at the county recorder's office, and could possibly pay the fees and could record a mortgage against the property, could transfer the property fraudulently, and I don't want to go into the logistics of how they do it. But
So that leads to the question: Does the title insurance purchased at the time they bought them, does that help a homeowner?
It depends, because what could happen is if they have done their own legitimate transfer from maybe a husband and wife to adding a child to it,
or trust or something,
or trust now are covered depending on when your policy was in place.
All right,
but
but
there's
if there was another
things,
transaction after that initial one. That's what you're concerned about.
Yes, I'm definitely concerned about those because it could actually void the policy. So a property profile will at least show you: has there been anything recorded on your property? Has there been anything that you shouldn't have that you're not aware of?
Okay, cool.
And that's what it's there for. So we have a property profile, like I said, is computer generated. I say really no eyes on it, right? We put the address in the system. It gives us a report, and it's sufficient. It will tell you what you need to know. Now, if we find anything on that profile, we'll go the next step, which we put eyes on it, and we call that a lien summary.
Oh, okay.
So a lien summary does the same thing as a profile, but it's done by somebody who's trained to actually look at the documents. And actually include those documents that are recorded to see if there's anything that really shouldn't be there.
So the profiles just give you a summation of what documents are there, but a lien profile is going to tell you what those documents really mean, perhaps?
A lien summary is going to go in a little bit more in depth with it, for sure. So either one, we go to the profile first, and then we go to the second level if we see anything that is a little bit, out of ordinary.
You've been listening to Las Vegas Real Estate Now. If you ever have a question about real estate or any of the other topics we cover, just call me off air or text me at 702-203-1165. You can also check us out on the web at lvrealestateradio.com or on our handle on social media at LV Real Estate Radio. We'll meet you on the radio next Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on the new 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDON, the Talk of Las Vegas.